Lui è peggio di Benny però quando parla.
Memories. So dark.
Salve! Vi ricordate tutto il macello del fatto che la quest si è impallata perché dovevo fare altre quest, eccetera, eccetera? Bene, probabilmente questo video lo vedete dopo, quindi non ci saranno problemi. E andiamo a fare l'evento. E sì, c'è una nuova aggiunta, come potete vedere. Il piccolo Shao è arrivato a casa. Sono molto contenta, non ho un'arma adatta a lui, infatti gli ho dato quella di Rosaria, ma penso che la cambierò nel caso dovessimo affrontare qualcuno nella missione. Vediamo come va. Facciamo l'evento nuovo! Yay! Allora, andiamo. Torniamo qui. Ah, ok, we did it. Possiamo anche fare la cosa figa di lanciarci di sotto senza farci male, perché Shao è immune alle cadute, con il plunging attack perlomeno. Per le altre cose non l'ho mai provato. Andiamo a parlare con Ningguang, quindi? Ok. Scusi l'intrusione, signorina Ningguang. Chissà quanti anni c'ha Ningguang, poi.
I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement.
Dimmi.
Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Woo! Brava!
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project.
Yeah, project! Ma quello è lo stesso tizio della storia di questi giorni lì. È tornato a casa sano e salvo, dai, buono.
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price
Ah,
of
no, si
building
chiama
materials
diverso.
has gone up so much lately.
Ah,
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
ah.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Ma perché siamo così pochi? Chi è sta gente? Perché sta parlando ste persone?
Patience.
Ah,
Since
scusa.
the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project.
Ok.
Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding.
Cioè?
They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Perché fa con i sigilli degli adepti, scusami? Nessuno ce li ha.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float.
Oh,
Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the Jade Chamber.
ok.
Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself.
Perfetto.
Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities,
Persone
procuring them will
randomiche.
not be a question of if, but of when.
Oh, lei sa quello che vuole, sa come prenderlo. Easy peasy. Vabbè. Brava.
I take the saying, time is money,
E zio Paperone
more
anche,
seriously
volendo.
than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find. And in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question.
Quindi saremo noi e faremo domande su Ether, cosa che avremmo potuto fare dopo l'Ark Conquest di Liyue, ma Lumine era rincoglionita e ha detto «Ehi, mi aiutate a appendere volantini?» E tu sei lì che fai «What the fuck?» Comunque, mi fa sempre strano quando i personaggi parlano molto distanti tra di loro e parlano a una voce normale, a un tono di voce normale o basso, e tutti gli altri lo sentono comunque. Devo dire che l'audio in questa piazza / auditorium / ritrovo per fare le feste è incredibile.
You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer.
Basta che non sei sotto
I
contratto anche tu.
trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
Ma per i commercianti forse più i soldi sono importanti, per noi no, però...
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year,
Ah, in questo modo ci guadagnano, buono, bravo.
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
Haha, what a coincidence. I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day.
Allora perché lo stai dicendo? Ti
Excuse me
seguono
all,
così.
but, I have some business to do.
Vai.
No. We better move quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get involved!
Intanto non abbiamo niente di meglio da fare.
So you heard my announcement, did you?
C'è un uccellino 2 secondi fa lì.
What do you think? Interested? Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Obviously.
Really? Ooh, then Primo will
No.
ask you about how to run a business!
Primo, tu no, non devi dire niente.
And we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance.
Ok.
The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site.
Ok.
Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive,
grazie.
please seek out my secretary.
Va bene.
Remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
Va bene. Ma potevi dirlo direttamente a noi a sto punto.
Come on, we
Cioè,
better
vuole
get going.
veramente che noi lo facciamo, ok?
First, we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
No, stavolta non sembra un pesce. So che fishy vuol dire un'altra cosa, però. Sì, c'è già Sangonomia che sembra un pesciolino e... Lei ha effettivamente una coda nel vestito dietro, quindi... boh.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up.
Ok.
As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more private, and we can get down to brass tacks.
Mio Dio. Inquietante.
No, I don't need it.
Che bella.
Ah, don't be like that. Hey, come on, don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Ma come,
Oh,
scusami? Ma
right,
fatevi i cazzi
yeah.
vostri. Ma che pedofili? Non pedofili, lei è grande. Però ho sbagliato. Che pervertiti, volevo dire. Ok.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information.
Quindi
Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them and see what we can find out.
seguiamo tutti, ok. Information peddlers.
Huh, they're not here. Let's keep looking.
Oh, dall'alto? Letteralmente. Uccidiamo le persone a caso. Ma lei che ci fa nel mondo dei viventi, tra l'altro?
Well, will you look at that,
Gli
man?
umani?
Nowhere left to run.
Ma in realtà ci sono veramente tante vie dove può scappare. Ma poi non penso nemmeno che ce ne sia bisogno. Sinceramente non siete così minacciosi.
Don't worry, we're not bad guys.
Ma
You
sembrate!
give us some Mora,
Ah,
we
vedi?
give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Ma non è interessata,
Boss,
gli ha
I got a
detto.
bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something.
Che belli gli
different about
occhi!
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
Ah,
I've already told you. I don't need your information.
è bellissima lei. Mi piace un sacco il fatto che abbia una tuta aderente. È molto carina, anche con tutte le decorazioni. La parte sopra mi piace un po' di meno. Mi ricorda un po' quella di Sara. È molto molto bella lei.
If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't
You
have to spell this
don't.
out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't.
No more excuses! Okay, I know you have money. I saw you.
Insistente comunque.
Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food and only taking a few bites.
No, che fastidio.
Then Shenhe kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again.
In realtà è un critico gastronomico sotto copertura, quindi non deve far sapere che è un critico perché altrimenti le cucinano meglio. E quindi sì, è questa la verità.
How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor.
Ah,
But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
è colpa loro. Però abbiamo già chiamato il Mililet. Che figa che è.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
Ma dai!
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
Ah, ok, si conoscono.
The Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own business. I swear!
Non lo faccio mai.
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians?
Civilians?
You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Oh no!
Shenhe,
Chi te l'ha chiesto il nome?
Shenhe?
Che se stai bene.
my name.
L'avevo capito.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before.
Sì?
Thank you for helping to defuse the situation.
Ah, figurati.
I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
Ah. Ok, she's scary.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws?
Yeah?
No. Apparently not.
Ok, è la prima volta che torna qua.
Really? So, how exactly have you...
Paimon.
That would be my stomach
Ah, il
growling.
suo?
I haven't eaten enough.
Si è mangiato solo un pezzettino. Forse non gli piacciono le cose da umani. Ah, forse ha bisogno anche lei di roba fredda?
Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of
She's
course
picky.
you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals.
Ok, si mangia i fiori.
Medicinal herbs?
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Booba Pharmacy's not far away.
Chissà se troviamo il dottor Baizu.
There for a big medicinal meal.
Veramente da tanto tempo che non lo
After all,
vediamo.
You can't work on an empty stomach.
Ok.
Do you think Shenhe might be an adeptus?
Ho capito subito.
Seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she is an adeptus, that would explain everything.
Yep.
Where?
Ah, scusa, Paimon. Non c'è il dottor
Are you
Baizu,
here to buy some
purtroppo.
herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Basta questa prescription, non mi
Chingson,
serve.
glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order.
Ah, ok, quindi si mangia tranquillamente
Here
sta
you go.
cosa.
That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
Ma che belli!
She's really eating them.
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful.
Come?
Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
Oh no.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant food? If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a whole table of food and eat it all in one go.
Sì, ci credo.
because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future.
Quindi sta
The food of
testando
the
le
mortal
cose.
realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development.
Ah.
Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Ok, ha senso. Puoi comunque fare il critico gastronomico.
Return to the mountains. That proves it. Paimon knew she was an adeptus.
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Letteralmente sto sbloccando una quest.
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition!
Ah, già, è vero.
And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Bellina, però mi
You get
piace.
to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win!
Adesso è interessata pure lei, però.
Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber,
Ah,
but
okay.
until this point I had no intention of joining a contest.
E quindi-
However, you have shown me your kindness, and
Prego.
I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in return.
Mi piace questo scambio equivalente.
Wow! You really don't have to. But having an adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Ok.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
Però mi ricorda un po' un delfino, comunque.
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective.
Comunque riesco a guardarle soltanto come è vestita. Oh, è proprio bello il costume, mi piace tanto. Non riesco a guardarla in faccia e questa cosa non si fa, Mary. Gli occhi sono qua su.
We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
No!
Vito! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
Non fatecela stare questa in città, per favore.
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
No, tranquilla.
Look, we want to win this competition fair and square, okay?
Anche perché non ci chiamano l'eroe di non so cosa, altrimenti.
Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Course, and Adepti Sigil.
Ah, ci puoi aiutare con l'ultimo?
Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plustrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So,
Baizu!
it's you.
Quanto tempo? Quando è che diventerai un personaggio usabile? Perché voglio vedere il tuo potere. Maledizione. E il tuo serpentino?
Baishu, what are you doing out here?
È sempre la sua farmacia,
Lady
tecnicamente.
Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Wound dressing?
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
No, devo cercare che roba è perché non lo so. Medicazione. Ah! Ah, non sapevo si chiamasse dressing. Giustamente Wound è ferita. Ho detto, boh, ho imparato una cosa nuova.
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs.
Personal affairs. Mi piace come parla.
Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi.
Cici!
Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are looking for part-time work by any chance?
Non puoi andarci tu? È carino stare dietro il bancone perché lavori con le persone, tecnicamente con i clienti. Però allo stesso tempo così bello guardare fuori qui.
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here though, you seem to know a lot. Have you ever heard of something called Sunset Vermilionite?
Che credo che sia una pietra, no?
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountain Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed.
È quella roba verde, quella pietra verde che sta sulle piattaforme che compaiono e sono galleggianti. Forse è quella, potrebbe essere.
As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in
buio.
existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would know far more about this than I do.
Ok.
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baiju.
Grazie.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from me, just come to the Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Se ti ci trovassi, non ci sei mai. Mi manchi, Baizu. Quando è che diventi disponibile? Vabbè, siamo vestiti anche simili, per qualche strano motivo, che poi lui viene da Sumero tecnicamente, no? We're similar.
Why does Lady Ningguang need so much wound dressing? Is it really such risky business rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is all most peculiar.
Please, show me your prescription.
Che bello, dottor Baizu. Che bello il suo serpentino. Comunque continuo a pensare che sia parente di Sucroso, però non c'entrano niente, dato che vengono da due posti diversi.
Please, show me your prescription.
Praticamente il color schema è quello. Palesemente quello. La prima volta che ho giocato pensavo fossero fratelli. Ma non credo sia così come cosa. È come guardarsi in uno specchio. Oh, il Biotech Glass mi serve per Cicino. Chissà se Cici si ricorda chi è Ningguang e tutto ciò. Ciao Baizu, spero di rivederti. Ah, non so se era sotto.
Master Xingqiu,
Xingqiu, pure tu ci stai qua in mezzo.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the job, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Ok.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here.
Completamente a culo l'abbiamo trovato, lui di solito non sta qui.
We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment.
Scusa.
Shu, I need to entertain some guests.
No, non
Please
ci devi
continue with your work for the
intrattenere.
time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail later on.
Ma no, è più importante questo.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Ma le presentazioni? Xingqiu mica la conosce Shenhe.
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
Eh sì, è ghiotta la cosa.
As well? Do you mean...
Anche tu?
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece.
Ah.
We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price.
Potresti effettivamente vincerlo tu il contest però,
At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million mora.
Dov'è Child quando serve? Child? Non sei qui in giro?
500 million?
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
Già.
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
No.
Who?
Chi?
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper.
Chi?
But if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
Era un altro
Yes,
detto.
precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds,
Stile non si stanno presentando,
to
sti due.
store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite.
Ok.
After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time.
Cacchio, si fa un sacco di soldi Xingqiu con sto Vermilionate comunque.
Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently.
Non
They
avevo
make some
dubbi.
oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Lisha area.
That's great! But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure?
Magari un pezzetto.
Wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful? With him being an Adeptus?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Seagazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him.
Ah, ok.
Open-minded? I have not heard of Seagazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that?
Se vi presentaste, magari.
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains.
Frega cacchi.
All right then, let's go.
Ciao. Povero Shinchu. È rimasto... Ah, è vero, perché mi sa che un po' non si sopportano. Mi sa che Shenhe non sopporta tanto Shinchu perché dà fastidio a Chongyung, però... Yay.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine.
Occhiolino, occhiolino, gomito, gomito.
Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms.
Ok.
Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please, be very...
Okay,
Tranquillo.
we will be. Thanks, Shincho.
Ciao, Shinchu. Sempre bello rivedere i vecchi amici. Dai! Siamo alti uguali? Perché tutti prendono in giro Shao che è basso? Anche Shinchu è basso.
It looks like the Jade Chamber rebuilding project will be fiercely competitive. It's difficult to say who will emerge as the winner.
Certo, se non avessero tutti e due la faccia mezza coperta sarebbe anche meglio, ma vabbè. Dove dobbiamo andare? Ah, liscio. Oh, it's rain.
Demons do not stop for the raid. Move.
Scus, proprio un emo sto ragazzo comunque, è un emo boy. Capite? Perché è anemo? Perché usa l'aria. Ah.
Let's see. Shincho said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
Non era manco lontano, tra l'altro. What? What's going on?
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Ehi!
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around.
Grazie!
Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there?
Ah, che bello. Sono così contenta di doverla seguire. Sbaglio o è più veloce del solito? No. Sbaglio. Dove va? Oh, sei pazza? Non voglio andare di sotto. Non voglio cadere di sotto, invece dovrò cadere di sotto. What the freak?
The Sealy got to here and then disappeared. Should we go over and take a look?
E quindi è un... Ah, Jesus Christ. Ah. Allora, sappiamo che lei è un support per il ghiaccio. E già entrerò senza personaggio di terra, probabilmente. Quindi direi di prendere Rosaria a questo punto. Proviamola con Rosaria. Sarebbe carino. Ah, e devo cambiargli l'arma però. Servirà uno di terra. Proviamo con lei. Così abbiamo tutti e tre gli elementi.
What? Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here?
L'isola degli adepti, no?
Oh, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the sky.
The sky.
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus.
Sì?
With any luck, the sunset Vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see. Huh? Isn't that the Sealy from before?
Seguiamola.
Look, it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds.
Inquietante.
And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't seem complete. Oh, could there be something below the clouds?
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an Adepti art used for spatial partitioning.
Primo.
If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mechanism that is maintaining the Adepti art.
No, che peccato.
Alright, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in this place.
Sì, li abbiamo appena visti.
I don't know where they are hiding, so we'd better be careful.
Di fronte a noi. Che bella che è! Solo che ho pulato Prescia ormai, quindi lei è fuori discussione. E non ho altre lance. È molto delicata nei movimenti. È molto lenta, anche. cosa che mi darebbe un po' fastidio. E questo attacco qua lo odio. Abbiamo questo che passa attraverso le persone e le ghiaccia. E se teniamo premuto crea il mio clone che dovrebbe fare la stessa cosa. E dovrebbe boostare Rosaria. In generale quelli di ghiaccio. Quindi lei è un ottimo booster per i personaggi di ghiaccio. Team full ghiaccio. Non mi è uscito Chongyun purtroppo, quindi non posso fare il team full ghiaccio. Bellina la musica. 27.000 di HP. What? Oh, che bella. Noblesse Oblige? Ok. Ah, buono il C1. C'ha un po' le ali da Cloud Retainer, quindi da cigno, ma anche un po' un delfino. Oh, che c'hai lì? Cos'è? Una casa? Brava, una casa. Una foto di una casa. Cosa significa? Oh, moriamo se cadiamo. Oh, che figo! Guarda, Bennett, sei sulle nuvole. Sono contenta che Bennett sta facendo tante avventure. Unleash! Figo. Ok, questo si sblocca attivando le altre cose, giustamente. Salve.
Obey!
Obey, obey. Salve.
Transfiguration!
Faccio più danno con Rosaria, però.
Unleash!
Ops, ho sprecato. E qui cosa devo attivare? Ah, con la terra, giusto.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Non so come si attivino. Oh, c'è la roccia lì. Non la vedevo. Ok, ok. Abbiamo risolto. Ecco che mi serviva la terra. Vai. E uno. No, sbagliato. Ma mi ha fatto sbattere contro l'albero, scusami. Vedi che non mi fa salire. Ah, ok. Ce l'abbiamo fatta. Oh, andiamo di qua. Sarà questo il vermiglio, Nate? È verde, vermiglio vuol dire verde tecnicamente. O è rosso? Oh no, mi sono confusa. Non mi ricordo più i colori. Si vede che lavoro solo in digitale e non in tradizionale, quindi non devo cambiare tubetti. Oh.
Take your true form.
Mamma mia, bello.
You can't run.
Steady as stone.
Obey.
Obey, obey. Ok, distruggiamo quello e sicuramente ci saranno dei nemici. Sono
It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this?
Vediamo quanto è potenziata. E la peppa quanto è potenziata!
Unleash!
Mai visto tutto questo danno su Rosaria.
Manifest!
Ah, pure queste piccoline esplodono.
The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance. Cryo incarnate!
Bella! Bellissima anche questa animazione. Poi adoro tantissimo il suo clone. Sei conosciuto direttamente da JoJo, però è bellissima come cosa. Bene. Ok, abbiamo nuovamente distrutto qualcosa. Ma perché ogni volta è così? Bazza che danno che mi sono fatta. Non proprio.
Look! The Celia disappeared beneath the clouds again!
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first.
Do your master's bidding!
Bellissimo. Ah, quello non si sveglia, ok. Credo che si sveglierà. Ah! Oh no!
Leave it all to me.
Vai.
I'll catch up.
Vai. Vai, Noel. Bello anche che gli passi attraverso e non ti fanno danno, se ci azzecchi col tempo, perlomeno. Faccio prima con Noel. No. Assolutamente no.
Obey!
Obey. Ci manca lui. Non ho l'arciere. Ah, mi manchi, Child. Già mi manchi. Ho lasciato per 10 minuti, già mi manca. Che salto. Incredibile.
We're gonna fall. This time we're really gonna fall.
Non posso premere niente.
So high. Luckily there was a pool of water at the bottom.
Ma quello che si è svegliato?
Otherwise, that could have ended very differently.
Che paura.
Hey, that series of...
Ah, scusami, fai. Oh, c'è una cesta che non avevo visto. Buono. Scusa, ma se ghiaccio le cose?
Unleash!
Ah, lei non ghiaccia. Ok. Peccato. Non ghiaccia l'acqua.
My will embodied.
Così sì, ma nell'altro modo mi sa di no.
Obey!
Nell'altro modo no. Triste. Ma dura di più di Rosaria? Non credo. Sempre bellissime queste trappole, grazie gioco.
Something looks different about this stone wall. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, forse non dovevo fare così. So che c'è il segnalino che mi dice di andare di qua. Oh, di qua c'è un altro. Oh no! Sto avendo dei flashback del Vietnam di quando giocavo ad Atlantis, l'impero perduto per PS1. E c'era tutto il labirinto da fare sia sott'acqua che fuori dall'acqua. Ed era un casino perché l'avevo fatto tutto fino a un certo punto. E non potevo più andare avanti perché avevo Kida, che mi piaceva tanto come personaggio, ma Kida non era abbastanza forte da spostare i blocchi di terra. Mi sono dovuta rifare tutto il labirinto all'indietro, cambiare personaggio, prendere Milo, che aveva la forza, e rifarlo di nuovo. È stato traumatico. Oh, un altro chest, grazie. Non posso più spingerla da qui, magari se è ricollegato di là. Sono abituata a camminare con Shao, adesso faccio questa cosa. Vabbè. Un altro core che è bloccato. Oh, non è più bloccato.
I will wipe them out.
Deve fare solo lei, ma allo stesso tempo si fa malissimo, nonostante c'ha 27.000 di vita.
Cryo incarnate. Manifest.
Bellissimo. No, con il team full ghiaccio è veramente figa. Non ho un team full ghiaccio al momento, però vabbè. Avete capito il senso? Oh shit. Oh, odio questi cosi.
Stone unturned, as a good knight should.
By ordinance divine.
Lights out.
Bellissimo, bellissimo.
My will embodied.
Non sto messa bene con la vita, come mai?
Take your true form.
Eccola, lo sapevo. 2? Senza Child?
Cryo incarnate. You will regret this.
As a dutiful maid would. Steady as stone.
I'm going in. Get out of here.
Ok. Abbiamo distrutto tutto, mi dispiace. Ci siamo intrappolati per caso? No, siamo riusciti a seguire la Silly, meno male.
Manifest.
Possiamo usarlo anche per camminare più velocemente. Si ricarica più o meno in fretta, dai.
Could that be the sunset vermilionite?
Dai, avevo ragione io. Era quella verde. Andiamo, andiamo, Siri, andiamo, ti seguo.
Obey!
Dove va? Obey, obey. Oh, grazie. C'era già un'altra? Chissà chi ce l'ha messa. Let's have some tea.
Manifest! Obey!
Oh! L'ombra era strana sul ponte. Semplicemente potevamo prenderla dei cosi volanti che abbiamo incontrato a Liyue, ma va bene. Forse non era Sunset.
It's so huge. That's true, but then again, why isn't it floating?
Come non sta
Prostrate doesn't
volteggiando?
float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Prostrate reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
Wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. The moment she has some time to spare, she'll come straight for me and start telling story after story.
Che noia dover sentire Claude Retainer per tutta la vita, sinceramente.
I don't care for her stories most of the time.
Ah, bene.
I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like this.
Hold on a sec. Paimon just realized something. If we activate it here, there's no way we'll be able to get it back to the site, right? Heck, we'll be dragged up into the sky too!
Ma non possiamo nemmeno portarlo a mano, Paimon.
But if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna lift it? This rock must weigh well over 1,000 pounds, surely!
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quite easily.
Com'è, scusa?
Are you sure? Be careful.
L'incredibile Hulk.
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a Prostrate sample this large must be highly valuable. I will be gentle with it.
Ma
and
non
make sure it does not
parlava
get
di
damaged.
questa cosa, era preoccupata per te.
My safety.
Yeah.
That's right! Paimon's sure you can handle it and everything, but if something this heavy lands on you, you're gonna get yourself hurt, no matter who you are!
Soprattutto perché non sei un adepto, ma sei un umano.
You gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects. It's just common sense!
Anche se immagino che stando nelle montagne degli adepti un po' ti adatti. Ti adapti. Quindi forse ha effettivamente sviluppato forza da adepto.
Is it now? Well then, thank you.
Figurati.
I'll go on ahead with the Prostrate. Let's meet at the building site later.
Ok. Certo, noi le abbiamo detto dove prendere le erbe medicinali.
Able to carry that huge rock all by herself.
Noi potremmo portare questa piccolina.
Can't I super strength much? We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
Ok. Stavo dicendo... Mi sono dimenticata. Che stavo dicendo? Accidenti. Era carino usarla. Non mi dispiace, sinceramente. Oh. Per una volta siamo entrati in una cascata, era quello che volevo fare da una vita, solo che era veramente piccolo il passaggio della cascata. Sto ancora cercando uno dei luoghi in cui ti permette di fare la cosa da cliché, che è passare attraverso l'acqua e entrare in una grotta segreta, ma non l'hanno ancora fatta questa cosa, che io sappia perlomeno, e sono molto dispiaciuta. Come ci arrivo qua? Da qui? Ok. Ah, qui è dove stanno costruendo tutto, ammazza che grande. Oh, già l'ho portato qui, incredibile. Brava. Voi non ci credete?
Oh my god, I can't believe my
Oh my
eyes.
god.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's gotta be one of those adepti, surely.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year
Ma
I may
basta.
reap a more bountiful salary.
Ma impegnati.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate.
Ah, sento che sei bloccata in questa
This item is
missione.
approved for submission. I'm
Okay.
going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Cioè, ha fatto anche prima di noi con sto masso enorme. Va bene.
Shenhe, and Ningguang's little helper.
Ma chiamala col suo nome, Paimon.
So you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plostrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
Esatto.
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found? Pretty amazing, right?
Right?
In truth, it is the finest piece of plostrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction.
Mi dispiace per quelli che hanno speso 500 milioni di mora per comprare quello di Shinchu in tutto ciò.
As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. If you need a place to rest, you are welcome to stay there. Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Ok.
Shenhe, just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praises.
Oh, really?
Adoro, non gliene frega niente.
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold their head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before.
Ma anche Paimon c'ha i capelli bianchi come lei? No, sono più bianchi i suoi, questi sono più argentei. Ah,
They call me an
se ne va.
adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how adepti are. At least the ones we've
Si
met
vede
are
la
pretty
linea del
unique and
fianco
reclusive, too.
nel buco, che bello.
Way different than normal people.
Yeah.
But I am not...
Shenhe?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode. I'm just a little fatigued.
Ah, riposati.
Well,
Ci credo, ha portato un masso
there are some
enorme.
makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check in and take a rest.
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit and meditate in silence.
Ok.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own.
Non credo che sia pericoloso per lei, Paimon.
You go eat something tasty, and when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed. All right? Seriously, don't punish yourself like this.
Okay. If you insist.
Ok.
Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Qual è il nostro hotel? Da quando alloggiamo negli hotel in tutto ciò? Ah, adesso posso finire la cosa di... va bene. Quindi quello è il nostro pezzo di roccia. Ammazza. Perché non c'hanno un minimo di
the
cose?
plostrite. The real construction work can finally begin.
Bello che tutti stanno fissando il legno. Altro che vecchietti che fissano i cantieri che lavorano. Qui sono direttamente i lavoratori che fissano il legno. Manco le rocce, direttamente il legno.
That young lady who carried the plostrite in earlier?
Togliti Shangfeng.
You know something? I heard that Lady Kuching has gone to Guyun Stone Forest.
Sì?
She took a lot of our workers with her,
Fare che?
too. So does that mean there's another construction project going on over there as well?
Potremmo vedere. In tutto ciò sono contenta che abbiano i caschetti. Per la sicurezza. Buono. Sesto posto. Ah, la Golden House. Non ci vado mai a piedi. Mi sono sempre teletrasportata. Ah, questo è il nostro piccolo hotel, ok. Carino. Una stanza singola, una casetta singola, molto carino. Dov'è? Ciao.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left.
Perfetto.
Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just
Parlano
workers,
tutti così questi.
visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts. So business is booming for me.
Booming.
Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
one of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour.
Vabbè.
The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Grazie.
Please excuse me, I'll leave you to it.
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a huge grilled chicken drumstick before. Let's buy one for Shenhe too.
Ok.
She can have it as a midnight snack. Or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
Anche se non le piace così tanto.
All right. I will head to my room for now.
Brava, riposati.
If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door.
I can relate.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye. Che carina. Che succede?
Hey, isn't that clever? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
No, voglio andare via a mangiare poi, ma non voglio andare da Cloud Retainer. Ciao.
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
Le hanno cambiato un po' la
So
voce.
far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name anyway? Calling her
Shenhe.
Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful.
Beh, se non ti ha detto niente lei.
Thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her Adeptus name instead.
Her Adeptus name? Why, pray tell, would Shenhe have an Adeptus name?
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shenhe is human.
Già.
Oh, right. Wait, what?
Non avrei mai immaginato.
Paimon neither. This is a real surprise.
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
No, si è solo presentata col nome di Shenhe. E a Shinchu non si è manco presentata, quindi figuriamoci.
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Yep.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed.
Nice.
One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene.
Ok.
Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
Scusami?
That sounds so dangerous.
A 6 anni? Come c'è finita lì?
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days.
Oh mio Dio.
Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally, and are highly reliant on their parents for survival.
Ma era un
But
mostro?
not so her.
Perché giustamente fa parte della famiglia di esorcisti lei, quindi...
That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born.
Bene.
One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction
non lo so,
and
sei un
remained
uccello
ready to
parlante.
strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intention to cause her harm did she finally relent. She then passed out without uttering a single word.
Giustamente era stanca,
In
poverina.
other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shenhe may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind, and she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her.
Quindi è successo qualcosa a casa sua, che forse è la casa nella foto dell'animazione?
Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. All the Adepti cherished her talents, and so we were willing to train her.
Okay.
However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity.
È diventato Zelda.
Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, that her soul must be bound with red ropes to keep her homicidal instinct at bay.
Okay.
The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive.
In effetti non si comporta tanto come un
Perhaps the
umano.
red ropes are so powerful that they have suppressed some of her other emotions as well.
Triste. Che strano che stia piovendo a Liyue, non ci ha mai piovuto a Liyue. Adesso 2 volte di
It is
fila.
only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you.
Okay.
And take good care of her.
Okay.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, danger is
Che
always
pizza.
lurking in the shadows. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond to the coming storm. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, the Adepti shall not hesitate to seize control.
Okay.
Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching. Be sure to get ample rest.
Va bene. È interessante però la storia.
A human raised by the Adepti is precisely what Liyue needs right now. It is also what the Adepti wish to give to Liyue.
Ok. Ah, dobbiamo aspettare.
Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with.
Blocco, finisco Ganyu e poi riprendo questa missione. Tu che cacchio stai a fare? Ma piove, perché stai seminando mentre piove? Vabbè. Ok, abbiamo finalmente finito la missione di Ganyu, adesso possiamo tornare dove eravamo stati. Dove eravamo stati? Come cosa ho detto? Dobbiamo aspettare che faccia giorno e che magari smetta di piovere. Ma cavoli, era dalle 8 alle 12? Non devo rischiare di perdermelo allora. Oh, è lì. Questa tipa sta ancora seminando, ha smesso di piovere perlomeno. Buono.
Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it?
Ah, già sa.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in.
Scusa, mi ero impegnata a finire la missione di Ganyu.
I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my master.
Ah.
On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning,
Stiamo
causing me
parlando
to
da 10
suspect that my
secondi.
master must have told you everything about me.
Vabbè,
After
dai.
all, master is... very talkative.
Purtroppo lo sappiamo tutti.
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner. Because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit.
Ma non è vero.
Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable.
Non siete
Instead, you treated
unapproachable.
me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
Mi fa piacere.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real adepti, too.
Yep.
Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an adeptus or a human isn't the important thing.
Considerando che abbiamo
First and
Paimon
foremost,
come amica e non
we're
sappiamo
just
ancora
plain
chi è
old
o cos'è.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much indeed.
Okay.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list.
Oh no.
But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper
Dai,
how
dai.
the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly.
Ok.
Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside.
Era
Here's one
buono?
for you, Shenhe.
Oh, carino.
Try it. They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Fa proprio il critico gastronomico. Sarebbe perfetto. Chissà se le piacerebbe conoscere Xiangling.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky!
Come di già la stanno costruendo? È già pronta, com'è possibile? E se no vola via.
It's not finished.
Ah.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beto!
Beto!
And hey, person Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced.
Okay.
Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready,
Yeah.
we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
Che bella Jujin in tutto ciò. Cioè l'unica che non c'entra niente coi colori.
One moment, I'll be right there.
Con chi stai parlando? Non c'è nessuno.
The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you.
Prego,
Lady
prego.
Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Okay.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Ma Beto perché non è sulla sua nave?
Beto? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do.
Ah, grazie, perlomeno qualcuno che fa le presentazioni.
Or Yunjin. Probably the most famous figure in the Lyra opera scene.
Che bella che è lei.
Greetings.
Greetings.
These 2 are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is...
Buddies.
Sorry, not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am there. Friend.
Oh.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew.
Oh, che carina. Parte della ciurma, parte della nave. No, era il contrario, non mi ricordo.
Miss Yoon is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
Tu cosa hai portato?
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you.
Sì?
Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed.
Ma non è inquietante quando qualcuno ti dice una cosa del genere? Io sarei tipo lì, un po' sulle mie, dicendo, ma chi ti conosce? Ma perché dici una cosa del genere? No, thanks. I don't trust you.
To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the
c'ha le
plastrite
conoscenze
required.
lei.
Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side.
Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
Nah.
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
Grazie.
In that case, I have a proposal to make.
No, ciccia, dobbiamo fare domanda su nostro
Lady
fratello.
Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us.
Ok.
What do you think?
Se sono 3 domande separate va benissimo.
Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yoon. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Mi piace come ragiona Junjin, è molto perfezionista e cerca di programmare tutto prima di fare le proprie azioni. Nice.
Okay then. All right.
Calcolatrice,
I'll go
mi piace
first.
che sia
I have
calcolatrice.
some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Su-Ling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Vedi, avere delle conoscenze a Liu è utile. Anche se sta tipa non la conosciamo, però è effettivamente stata lei a dire il piano.
Okay, let's go!
Let's go.
By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang
Ma
Yunjin?
ti pare che te la dica?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady
Oh.
Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Tutto qui? Bello! Cioè, non vuole... Cioè, effettivamente sì, è per il successo dell'opera, quindi anche guadagnare soldi, però effettivamente non è come i mercanti che vogliono sapere, cosa andrà di moda l'anno prossimo che mi farà guadagnare.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus.
E si guardano.
It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Beh.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf? Or do you need something forged?
Ragazzi, ha smesso di martellare, è incredibile. Di solito non smette mai, è quello che fa tutti i giorni, tutto il giorno, tutta la notte. Ha smesso stavolta. Oh, abbiamo delle ombre.
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer.
Sì, ce ne siamo accorti.
Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. Even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact,
È proprio bello
I
il
made some
vestito
for
di
Lady
Eugene
Ningguang
comunque.
back when she was building the original Jade Chamber.
Ah.
The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need 2 kinds.
E che cacchio
Star-splinter
sono?
iron and sabrosium.
Mai sentiti.
If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her star splinter iron from the Mount Tianhung area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the sabrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market. I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianhung have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff.
Come, scusa?
Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for star splinter iron around Mount Tianhung. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Okay.
Mount Tianhung.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Ah, tutto vicino però. Ah, volevo prendere quello.
I came to Mount Tianhung once with my father as a child. I
c'è
remember
una
it being
fili.
such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top.
C'è una strada più comoda, sinceramente.
This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianhung. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared.
Oh, no.
The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness.
Oh, no.
The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
Okay.
What a nasty piece of work. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place.
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No, don't do it, little girl.
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor.
Shenhe?
Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti,
Sì.
and they took her as one of their own. Her
Quindi
story
si è
became
offerta
the stuff of
volontaria.
legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world.
Triste.
And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
Oh.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon. Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron. Yeah!
Yeah! Sono troppo stanca. Mi sa che mi fermo qui.